Mooarachi, written by Maria Cisneros Toth, illustrated by Stephen Saddam for the Los Angeles Times. Part 1. Don't be late picking up the cow, Aunt Carmen reminded the dairy farmer. Anna is going to sing Las Mañanitas at church tomorrow, and we don't want to be late. Anna stomped her foot as her aunt hung up the phone. You can't get rid of Kiki. Aunt Carmen explained that the cow had outgrown her backyard. She pointed out the kitchen window. That crazy cow has devoured my daisies. And look, now she's eating my petunias. But the dairy farm is so far away, Anna whined. I'll never see her again. It's not fair. Anna pounded down the back steps. She flung her arms around the cow's neck. Kiki had eaten what was left of Aunt Carmen's garden. Her ears twitched as Anna scratched behind them. Anna and Kiki had become friends since the day her aunt won her at the Cinco de Mayo fiesta. Anna, practice your song, her aunt shouted from the small window. You don't want to forget the words. Anna hummed through sniffles, then serenaded the cow with a chorus of Las Mañanitas. She had been practicing the traditional Mexican song for the church fiesta of Our Lady of Guadalupe, but somehow she didn't feel like singing such a cheerful song. Not now. Kiki needed a different home, somewhere closer, but where? She looked into the cow's big brown eyes. Maybe I can hide you in my room. Kiki answered with a lazy moo. Aw, you're right, Anna said. Bad idea. Then she snapped her fingers. I've got it. Anna hopped onto her scooter and pushed off toward the city zoo. At the zoo, the animal keeper said, No room for a cow. Try the county fair. Anna scooted off toward the fairgrounds. A clerk peered over the counter. Come back next year, she said. September is Adopt a Farm Animal Month. Anna's shoulders drooped. September will be too late. Part 2. The story so far. Anna needs to find her cow Kiki a new home before the dairy farmer takes her far away. Can she do it? How about trying the high school farming program, suggested the clerk from the county fair. Anna zipped over to the school. The parking lot was empty. She had forgotten it was Saturday. Now what, she thought. She glided on her scooter 2 short blocks to St. Mary's. At the church, people bustled about, preparing for morning mass. Tomorrow was the fiesta of Our Lady of Guadalupe. The special service honored the day the Virgin of Guadalupe appeared to an Aztec Indian named Juan Diego hundreds of years ago. Anna parked her scooter. Inside, she quietly knelt before rows of lighted candles. When she looked up at the statue of the patron saint, the lady seemed to smile down at her. Anna thought of the cow and whispered a prayer. Please help me find a home for Kiki, she said. On her way out, she bumped into Mrs. Lugo, the choir director. She reminded Anna about the evening's rehearsal for the fiesta. The mariachi band will be here at 6 o'clock sharp. Don't be late. And practice, practice, practice. You don't want to forget the words. Anna forced a smile. She hopped back onto her scooter and whizzed past the ice cream parlor. She spotted someone dressed up like a cow and waving to motorists. A giant milkshake bopped up and down. Car horns beeped. Bingo, Anna said. She hurried home and rummaged through the garage where she found an old sarape and sombrero. Before dawn, Anna wrapped herself in the colorful wool shawl and crept outside onto the lawn. She plunked the woven hat made of straw onto her head, then bolted across the street to Aunt Carmen's. Kiki let out a drawn-out moo. Shh, Anna whispered. It's me, you silly cow. She tilted the hat away from her face. See? Kiki gave Anna a nudge. Part 3. The story so far. Anna has come up with a plan to keep Kiki from the dairy farm. Can she make it work? Anna quietly led the cow through a side gate. Kiki hoofed along the sidewalks. As they reached St. Mary's, Anna said, only a few more blocks to go. But Kiki stopped in front of the church where she helped herself to some daisies. Anna tugged. Come on, Kiki. The cow wouldn't budge. She tried pushing from behind. The cow swished her tail in Anna's face. Anna plopped down on the church steps. It's no use. In the moonlight, she caught sight of a rose bush. She jumped up and laid the sarape on the ground and filled it with snippets of rosebuds. Anna lured the cow away with the sweet-smelling flowers. Kiki sniffed and followed her. "It's working," Anna sang out. At the football field, she tied the cow beneath the stadium bleacher. "No one will find you here," she said. Kiki let out a lonely moo. "Don't worry," Anna patted her. "I'll be back soon." Anna raced home. She tiptoed into her room and slid beneath the covers. The words to Las Mañanitas swirled in her head until she drifted off to sleep. "Wake up, Anna, wake up!" her mother called. "I've got to braid your hair." Anna blinked awake. The moon had gone to sleep. The sun was wide awake. She smiled at sparrows chirping outside her window. Anna slipped on her new dress, and Carmen had sewn it for this special occasion. After her mother twisted satin ribbons into her braids, Anna was off to her aunt's for pictures. Aunt Carmen pointed the camera. "Say chimichanga." "Chimichanga," Anna said as she spit out a giggle. Just as her aunt clicked the camera, the doorbell chimed. "It's the dairy farmer," she said, sounding pleased. "You'll find the cow out back." But the farmer did not find the cow in Aunt Carmen's backyard. Aunt Carmen looked puzzled. Where did she go? Part 4. The story so far, the dairy farmer has come to pick up Kiki, but the cow is gone. Aunt Carmen is stumped. "Look!" Anna pointed at hoof prints. The track stopped at the sidewalk. "That crazy cow is probably grazing on someone's lawn," Aunt Carmen said. "It could take hours to find her. We'll be late for church." "Nonsense," the dairy farmer said. "I'll round up that cow in no time flat." Anna had not counted on him searching for Kiki. "Now all I have to do is think like a cow," he said. Where is the nearest pasture?" "The park," Aunt Carmen suggested. She jingled her car keys the way she always did when she was in a hurry, and tried the high school football field too. Anna gulped. She'd have to hurry. At St. Mary's, Aunt Carmen circled the busy parking lot. She dropped Anna off where the mariachi band members unloaded their instruments. "Sing nice and loud," Aunt Carmen reminded her. Anna slammed the car door. "I will." She followed the musicians and other performers who began to gather at the back of the church building. She hadn't expected to see such a crowd. Butterflies fluttered in her stomach. What if she forgot the words to the song? "I can't think about that now," she thought. She had to reach the football field before the dairy farmer. 20 minutes, Mrs. Lugo checked off her list of performers as they arrived. "Good morning, Anna," she said. "What a pretty dress." "Thank you," Anna answered. Anna waited. Then when no one was looking, she sprinted toward the high school. At the football field, she felt relieved to see Kiki still there. She grabbed the sarape and sombrero, then hurried back to St. Mary's. Kiki hoofed along. Part 5. The story so far. Anna beat the dairy farmer to the high school stadium. She is taking Kiki to St. Mary's. Anna is singing Las Mañanitas for the fiesta of Our Lady of Guadalupe. The procession started on time. Ushers dressed as Juan Diego carried a platform holding the statue of the Virgin of Guadalupe. People waved white handkerchiefs as the statue of the patron saint passed them by. Some tossed roses. The mariachi followed. Anna rode on the back of a burro draped in a striped sarape and wearing a sombrero. Oohs and ahs arose from the crowd, but then the sombrero blew off Kiki's head and the cow let out a loud moo. "Hey, that's no donkey," Aunt Carmen shouted. "That's my cow." The musicians began to play Las Mañanitas. Anna patted Kiki as she serenaded the Virgin of Guadalupe with the song. She remembered all of the words. After church, Anna worried that her aunt might be upset, but instead, Aunt Carmen beamed. "You sang like a sparrow." "I'm sorry I took Kiki," said Anna, looking down. "But the dairy farm is so far away, and the mariachi band has a small ranch close by where Kiki can live. They want her to be a part of their act." The mariachi band leader winked at her. "It will be a Mooarachi act," he said. "Can she go?" Anna begged. "Well," Aunt Carmen said. "You can visit her every week," the band leader chimed in. "Please, Aunt Carmen. It's not very far. I can ride my scooter over there to see her." Aunt Carmen cupped Anna's chin. "How about we visit her together?" Her aunt smiled. "We could even take her some of my petunias." Anna hugged her aunt. "I'll help you plant some new ones." Just then her aunt waved her handkerchief at someone. It was the dairy farmer. "Look," she told him. Anna had the cow, and she found her another home. The dairy farmer nodded and smiled. Anna flung her arms around the cow's neck. She whispered into her ear, "Looks like the Virgin of Guadalupe heard my prayer." Kiki answered with a long and happy moo. The end. Mooarachi, written by Maria Cisneros Toth, illustrated by Stephen Sedam for the Los Angeles Times.